I checked the row twice before we took off. Seat 27B was definitely empty. Overnight flights have a specific kind of isolation. The cabin stays dark, the passengers are motionless under their blankets, and the only sound is the consistent low-frequency hum of the engines. This flight felt different from the start. The cabin air was unusually heavy, and the overhead lights kept flickering in a jagged, rhythmic pattern. I was in 27A, the window seat. Because 27B was unoccupied, I placed my bag there to give myself a little more legroom. At 2:13 a.m., I woke up suddenly. There was no chime or turbulence to wake me, just the sudden, sharp sensation of eyes on the back of my neck. The cabin lights were at their lowest setting. All around me, passengers were buried under blankets pulled up to their foreheads, their heads all tilted at the exact same sharp, rigid angle. I reached over to grab my bag, but my hand hit the bare fabric of the seat cushion. The bag was gone. The empty space I'd used for my belongings was occupied. I wasn't alone in the whirl anymore. A tall, thin figure in dark clothes sat in 27B. Its hands were folded in its lap with a geometric precision that didn't look relaxed. To get into that seat, someone would have had to climb over my legs or walk down the aisle, yet I hadn't felt a single movement or heard a footstep. Looking at its face, the features seemed like a mask. It was too still and too calm, like a sculpture trying to pass for a person. Its eyes were wide, unblinking, and staring straight at the seat back in front of it. I reached up and pressed the flight attendant call button several times. No light came on, and the cabin remained completely silent. Without turning its head, the figure spoke in a voice that sounded like it was coming from a great distance. "You weren't asleep long enough." I unbuckled my belt and scrambled into the aisle, walking as fast as I could toward the back of the plane, not looking back. The rear galley was empty. No crew members were preparing for the morning service, and even the mechanical clicking of the plane's systems had stopped. Every single passenger in the cabin was in the exact same position, heads tilted right, hands resting together, mouths slightly open. They looked like mannequins arranged by the same hand. I ran to the front and pounded on the cockpit door, but the only response was a hiss of static and the sound of heavy breathing over the intercom. My own voice crackled back at me through the speakers, calm and familiar, telling me to return to my seat. The cabin lights went dark for a second, and when they flickered back on, every passenger was sitting upright, staring directly at me. I looked back at row 27. Seat 27B was empty again, and my bag was sitting exactly where I had left it before takeoff. The intercom clicked on again. This time it was the captain, his voice breaking as he told anyone still awake to avoid looking out the windows. As if on cue, every person in the cabin slowly turned their head toward the glass. Outside the plane, a tall, human-shaped figure was flying alongside us, pressing its smiling face against the exterior of the window. In the reflection of the glass, I am sitting in seat 27B, looking back at the